big hello. I don't know where you are, but I'm in Delhi. This is an odd time. We thought the year was going to begin with new things and wonderful things, and we still have Omicron. In this situation, there is a lot of uncertainty about study abroad, and I thought, what can be better than bringing a student success story to you today? So I'm Dr. Maina Chawla Singh. I have been a professor both in India and abroad. I have taught for 9 years in the US at American University. At Georgetown, I have also been visiting faculty at many other universities where I have been invited as a speaker for the books that I have published. I have also lived and been a guest faculty in France, in Israel, and the UK. So I bring to you in these videos a professor's perspective because I have seen many of the admission application processes abroad, and therefore when students are applying from India to go abroad, I love to share experiences and success stories about how it can be a more enjoyable and a more productive process for you. So let me begin by introducing my guest today, and that is Jai Arora. Jai, hi, how are you doing and where are you? Which city of the world?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. I'm here in Delhi currently. I'm going to be flying back to the US in a week's time.
Okay, wonderful. And where did you do your schooling? We need one word, quick answers to introduce you. Which city did you do your schooling?
So I did my schooling here in Delhi at Vasant Valley School.
Okay, and where are you doing your undergrad program?
At Emory University in Atlanta.
Okay, and which year are you in? Are you a rising senior?
Yeah, I'm a junior currently, a third year.
Excellent. So it's not been such a long time since you filled the applications and you made your choices about universities. So this is really perfect to share your experiences, and we hope that whatever you share with us is also going to help many other students to make it to great internships like yourselves. And so all of you who might be applying again this year and might run into obstacles about leaving or travel bans, you should know that you can still have very happy endings. So Jai had a difficult time. He was here for months. There was uncertainty. He didn't know when to go back. He made certain decisions. Anyway, he's back. He went back to campus and he is home now and he will be going again. So those are things to remember, that when we are faced with what we think are closed doors, you must be hopeful and keep looking for windows of opportunity so that you don't miss them. So I want to come back for the benefit of everybody who is an aspirant for study abroad, and I want to focus on something that a lot of students spend a lot of time either worrying about or actually doing, and that's while they're building the profile for themselves for the application process. Jai, I want to focus on the SOP. Now, some universities will call it the statement of purpose, they will call it personal statement, whatever that is. But basically, I'm not talking about the CV. I'm talking about that personal essay, whatever the university might decide to call it. So tell me, Jai, what was the most difficult part about writing the SOP? Give us one or two very quick points and tell us what you did about it.
Okay, so essentially, a few of the challenges that I had faced at that particular point of time was firstly finding a key starting point. I feel that's one thing that is extremely important. I'm extremely passionate about public health, and I have a few subjects such as economics and computer science that I'm also passionate about. So I look towards those to help find the starting point, and I thought that would be one of the great ways to start this interview off as well, by talking about how to start an SOP. So the way I went about it was I chose to write about my passion for cooking because I thought that could give me a creative outlook on this essay and sort of help me write a narrative that I felt would stand out. Moving towards my SOP itself, as I stated before, I feel it's extremely important to create a narrative and to create a story about that you want to tell the admission officers. So what I wrote about was essentially baking a cake and the various ingredients that were being put into the cake were some things about me, would be qualities about me or something that I've done, etc. I wrote about my leadership skills through an initiative that I started, and that was another ingredient. So just like this, I came up with 4-5 things that I really wanted to put forward, and at the end of the essay was essentially, we had a cake that was a version of myself that I wanted to put forward to the admissions officers, which I felt probably made my essay stand out.
Jai, this is such a fascinating story. I, of course, have heard it before, but I thought it was so fascinating that we should really share it with the others. Very often people are putting together their statements of purpose, and we keep telling them, be creative, tell a story, tell a story. It's important for a student to share and tell us, how do I tell that story? So here's an example of something you may have thought was, a student might think, what's the connection with baking a cake and writing a statement about myself? So I want to say there really is no limit. Nothing is off the boundary for a student to think about what makes them distinct. If I'm looking at an application abroad at a university, I have 200 applications, if not more, to look at. I will spend 5 to 7 minutes. What strikes me first is this kid doing something different? I'm not going to say, why are you doing this? I am just reflecting on what a 17 or 18-year-old is going to tell me about themselves. Is that authentic? Is that creative? Is that compelling? Nobody expects you to come up with great philosophies of life. You are young, you're going to learn, you're going to enter college. And they want people who are curious, who are willing to do different things, try different things, and then find the connections between them. You know that today everything is about problem solving, everything is about critical thinking. These are the little ways that you can actually bring in your own interests and speak about what your passion might be. Did you find that you were asked about that by the admissions committee, or did anyone refer to it later when you joined Emory University?
The college that I joined within Emory University was called Oxford College, which is a smaller part of Emory, and over there there are very few students. So they actually had an idea of every single student who they accepted. So one of the admissions officers actually came up to me and sort of asked me about my cookbooks, etc., because they were really interested in it. So that really shows that I was able to make it stand out, and gaining their attention and especially making them remember it, I felt was a big achievement for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this brings me to another tip I would like to give to students, is when you're looking at a university and you think of the world's best 4 universities and they are huge and the world knows about them, I want to tell you that if you're going there as an undergrad, you're going to get lost. Most of those universities are huge. You might look at professors at Harvard and MIT and Yale, but they will probably not teach first year and second year and third year. They will probably teach postgrad. You might have a lot of your classes done by TAs, whereas Jai has just referred us to how he went to a smaller liberal arts college and he got so much attention for the first 2 years, really to help him to nurture. So this is something that we have talked about, which is the choice of destinations. Do you want to just tell me if you had other destinations up your sleeve, and how did you choose Oxford, or how did Emory choose you?
So essentially, my particular choice, it sort of boiled down to 2 colleges. One was Notre Dame, and the second one was Emory University in Atlanta. So the reason I chose Emory was, firstly, I didn't particularly like the location that Notre Dame was in. It was sort of in a rural background, and coming from urban city like Delhi, I wanted to be in an urban city in the US. So I was really excited to go to Atlanta. Additionally, I'd just like to add, at the end of the day, you're the one who has to go there and study there. So you should put that in focus rather than just looking at rankings of colleges, etc.
The important thing is, where will you flourish best? Do not look at rankings, look at the best fit. That's the tip that we always give about choosing destinations. Now, tell us something about how can anyone build an impactful profile?
Okay, sure. So a few tips that I would give people, the first one would be to sort of follow your passion. Now, many people say that you should start an initiative here or an initiative there. That sort of doesn't really bring out your passion unless you're actually passionate about the initiative that you've started or any extracurricular activity that you're planning to put down on your portfolio. I had a particular interest in public health as well, so I started an organization called Diabetes. Now, India being the diabetic capital of the world, I sort of wanted to create a small change within society. So me and my friend, we held 5 to 6 camps in the national capital region, and we conducted blood glucose meter tests and blood tests on close to 200 to 300 people in the underprivileged sections of our society, and sort of told a few of them and informed them that they actually had diabetes and linked them with sort of hospitals so that they could take care of themselves. So I feel like you should choose an initiative that you're passionate about, because that certainly does come through when admission officers are reading your application. The second tip that I would like to give is to make sure that all the extracurricular activities or everything in your profile should be linked to each other in one particular way. It should bring out one theme or a prominent theme that you're trying to showcase. So for me, that was sort of a link between public health and the food that you should consume when you have diseases such as diabetes. So what I did was, since I started this organization called Diabetes, and I also had a cookbook that I had written to link the two, I sort of wrote another cookbook which had diabetic friendly recipes. So that was the way I decided to link my major extracurricular activities together. So I think something that links and runs through your entire profile really creates a major impact. And the last point, just a last tip that I would like to give is, make sure you're able to highlight the 3 to 4 qualities that you really want to showcase in a big way. Say don't focus on 9, 10, 11 qualities and just put forward in at a surface level. I'd say you should delve deeper into the activities that you're very passionate about, and that should really come out within your application. So I think that really creates a huge impact.
Excellent. Thank you for saying that students should really focus on 2 or 3 qualities. When I look at an application, I want to know that person for the 2 or 3 qualities. I don't want a list of 10 qualities that they have, because I'm trying to see who they are and how they see themselves. Is there anything that that you look back and say, I wish I had done this differently in terms of time or time management? One quick tip?
Sure. So one thing that I would have done differently was certainly been more involved in school. I think that really shows a lot of leadership. My school provided a lot of leadership opportunities, whether it be through the prefect positions that they had or joining certain clubs, etc. And I was not really very involved in those. So I would certainly recommend to all students out there to go and be part of as many school activities as possible, because that really showcases an initiative that you're taking as well as leadership. And it's something that you've been selected or chosen for, so it really does stand out. And just a quick second tip, I would sort of recommend gaining a better idea of the colleges that you're interested in, not just focus on the idea of you wanting to go there. I'd sort of recommend to people to delve deeper into and do some analysis into the colleges that they've selected and the reasoning behind why they've selected it, whether it be the city that they're located in or the batch size of the college or the professor to student ratio. It could be any of those factors, whatever matters to you most, but you should certainly do more in-depth research on the colleges that you are excited to go to, and not just think of the rankings and not just think of the idea of going to that particular college. I think that's something that I could have done better, and something that I would certainly recommend people to do.
Jai, this is so helpful, because as a student, when you look back and you say, had I participated in more of the school activities, I would have had more to talk about and more to draw upon for the application process. So as we say to people, you need to start building your profile yesterday. You need to get into all of those activities that you can list. That's a very, very helpful tip about how to start doing things as early as possible. And the second thing is, I understand that there are so many students who feel compelled either by other people's rankings or what the parents are saying, and you need to really delve into the mission statement of the college. How diverse is it? Where is it located? What will you do while you're there? Are there enough opportunities? And so please look at that more carefully. It's not about the ranking that the Chronicle of Higher Education has set. It's the ranking that's the best fit for you. So with that, I want to say, Jai, all the very best. Thank you for sharing your journey. We wish you all the very best and enjoy your time back at Emory and then on to your wonderful internships and a job in the future. Thank you, Jai, for being with us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.